Brother Seville, what's good, brother? Black Power.
Black Power, brother. How you doing today?
Oh, man, all wise and civilized.
Well, you know, I'm just sitting out here, man, to set up my stuff, man, to actually wake the black people up, man, in Brownsville. It's a necessity. It's a necessity, man, that, you know, us as conscious people, you know what I'm saying, we'll have some insight, you know what I'm saying, give it back to the community. And this is what I'm doing out here, man. I have this information out here, man, you know what I'm saying, giving it to the people, because a lot of them don't know the truth. And I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, to rectify and to bring back the reality of what's actually really going on in my community in Brownsville, in Brooklyn. This is one of the worstest areas in Brooklyn, and it has been that way for a long, long time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very appreciative that my man Baba come from Syracuse out here to actually see what's going on in this part of the world, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, brother. I can't think of nobody else that I would want to come show me about Brownsville other than you. You been here, you never left, you never been nowhere, you still here.
One of the main components, man, that I think that anybody that gets knowledge of self, you know what I'm saying, and learns about who they are, you know what I'm saying, doesn't matter how big they get, how much information they get, I think they should always come back to the community. They should always come back and teach, you know what I'm saying, the people who are in a very messed up situation and they need guidance. I think that a lot of scholars who get information, you know what I'm saying, forget about the little people. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important, man, that if you get information on how to raise the dead, you know what I'm saying, in any kind of venue, you know what I'm saying, whether it be economics, whether it be food, whether it be politics, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, talking about white supremacy, whatever the premise is, I think that a person should always come back to where they came from, to teach and try to raise the dead up. I know it's necessary for some brothers to get some money, give lectures and get paid for it, but I also believe that they should also come back and do something for free in their community. You know what I'm saying? Letting the people know that they have not been forgotten about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Brother Seville, what do you think about the debate that's coming up with the Hebrews and Brother Polite?
Well, I think it's very important, man, for these brothers to have some dialogue. I think it's very important for them to sit down, you know what I'm saying, you know, and bring different information from different areas. I think that the Bible is a mysterious book. I think that it hasn't, personally, I don't think that the Bible has helped our community but so much. I think that if you are dealing with something mysterious, we have to understand that this dialogue came from, you know what I'm saying, a paradigm of Europe. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that are in that Bible were put together, you know what I'm saying, in the 1600s. And we understand it was a man named King James who was supposed to be commissioned, you know, to actually write this book. You know what I'm saying? And
a faggot at that.
Yeah. He was definitely gay. He was definitely a homo. He was definitely a hater of his own family. When his mother had challenged him and asked him what he was doing, he had her killed and the rest of his family. So when you get a book that is concentrated on a man or a mentality such as the so-called King James, and we understand that the blacks in Africa today didn't receive any information, you know what I'm saying, prior to them coming to America. I'm not saying that you had invaders that came in to try to give them Christianity, but the blacks that are in America now first wasn't allowed to actually read the Bible. They wasn't allowed to actually learn about anything that they call Jesus Christ. That was given to them by the slave master. Now, we know that religion was set there to separate and divide the people. You know what I'm saying? You have a Muslim that doesn't like a Christian. You have a Hindu person that doesn't like a Buddha. You know what I'm saying? You have Sunni that don't like Shiite. You know what I'm saying? You have different breakdowns of these religions, but they supposed to be dealing with the same God. Now we have the Seventh-day Adventists. You know what I'm saying? We have Jehovah's Witness. You know what I'm saying? We have the Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. We have all these divisions, but this is supposed to be part of Christianity. This is supposed to be part of something that's supposed to make somebody change their life. Now, I'm in the inside of a church, and I haven't seen too much of transforming. Meaning that when a person said that they believe in Jesus, you know what I'm saying, on Sunday, but on Monday they doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. So how powerful is Christianity? How powerful is this so-called religion? I can't see it to be anything that would change the minds of people. I think it makes them more confused than anything.
And one thing I always say about my brothers, the Hebrews, although I don't agree with everything that they teach from that Bible, I do respect the fact that they take that book from a black theology perspective, Brother Seville, and cut the cracker's goddamn head off with that goddamn book. That I respect. If I don't agree with anything else that the brothers say, I respect the fact that they take it to that cracker. And I'm gonna just say this: I am a race man. I'm very concerned with getting the information and the upliftment of my people, and because of that, I realize and recognize that you can't, because of what white people have done and made race an issue. White people didn't make race no goddamn issue. White people made race an issue, so we have to deal with race. Race is an issue today, because so much so that our people want blue eyes, they want straight hair, they want blonde hair, all because of what this goddamn Peckerwood has done through religion. So I'm a firm believer sometimes the antidote for one poison, Brother Seville, might be another one. Our people are indoctrinated in that book, so sometimes you got to deal with them like you go into church. You deal with them where they are.
I think that the whole concept of church hasn't been beneficial. I have to say that. Also, I have to say that in most churches, they have a white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired devil that's hanging on a wall, you know, on the wall as God. Now, my problem is this: how can your enemy, somebody that have slaved you, somebody that have killed your family, be a God that you worship?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Now, how can your enemy become your deity? The word deity means something that you make praise to, something that you give high regard to. And this is a blue-eyed, blonde-haired devil that's hanging on the wall. Now, what I will say about the Israelite brothers, that concept about who this white man really is an actual fact.
Right.
But when they come from the Bible perspective, when this book has been mixed, diluted, and tampered with, when it's supposed to be the Holy Bible, holy means not being mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any shape, form, or fashion. And we know that man wrote that book, not God. It said it was inspired by God. Can they prove it? Are there any bones that we can go find Jesus' bones, or Moses' bones, or anything that were left to say that these people even existed? You know what I'm saying? People are coming with different philosophies and psychologies, you know what I'm saying, in order to keep the people asleep. Now, prime example, you have a lady that goes to church every day, jumping around, catching the Holy Ghost, talking in so-called tongues. And 5 minutes later, I seen the same lady walking down the street, you know what I'm saying, with a dress on this short. You know what I'm saying? On the dark side. So how powerful is Christianity? How powerful is any religion if it doesn't apply discipline and culture, you know what I'm saying, to the people that are utilizing it? There's one thing that happened to the black race. We lost our culture. We lost our names. We lost our language. You know what I'm saying? Everything was lost. And it was replaced by white concepts and ideas. Which means this: the average black person that you see on the streets is coming from a European concept. He's not, or she's not, coming from an Afrocentric thought. They're repeating what they were taught. We know that our youth today is influenced by the rappers talking about bitches, talking about hoes, you know what I'm saying, disrespecting that black woman. You know what I'm saying? You have some women that disrespect the black man. Now, this goes way back to slavery when Willie Lynch was in power. when Willie Lynch existed to separate the black family, to cause confusion and chaos. So this is one of the main factors that us as black people have to recognize. Back in the days when I was coming up, if you did something to upset your mother or your father, you were disciplined. You know what I'm saying? You were sent to the room. Sometimes you didn't get nothing to eat, which I feel is wrong, but their parents back then had a penalty for somebody or one of their children acting up or doing something wrong. Now what happened? The black people who got caught up on drugs, got caught up on alcohol, got caught up on all these different activities, somehow fell off. But this was by design. When they put the crack in the community, how can a man be responsible for anything when you have a substance that takes over your mind, your body, and your soul? Because I was on crack. You know what I'm saying? I was a crack addict. You know what I'm saying? Walking around the street desolate. So I know by my experience, you know what I'm saying, how devastating this drug can be and how still devastating it is in our communities. Now, you have something that's legal on the corner. Every corner you walk in, you see a liquor store. This is the most powerful drug that they have in existence right now. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody think it's good or you can drink, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. I can do some social drinking. I can do some social this, social that. But that same process and mentality has caused confusion in our households, in our families. We have brothers and sisters that don't like one another. You know what I'm saying? You have aunts and uncles that see their nephews and nieces doing things that don't correct them. They're lost. But the reason why I'm in this community today is to raise them up, man, to tell them that somebody loves them, that they were once a great people. And if they unify, you know what I'm saying, in their own community, start having their stores that they own, you know what I'm saying, start having some things, man, that they can do to go and raise some people up. If you have some information, there's one key component that I must say, that when we were coming up, if you didn't have no milk in your house, no sugar in your house, no butter in your house, you can also knock on your neighbor's door. And your neighbor would kindly say, here, take this, take this. Now if you knock on somebody's door, you might get shot. So this is how devastating our community is in this day and time. They hate themselves. Anything being black, they hate this existence. You know what I'm saying? And we must come back in our community and start teaching and start giving these babies some type of guidance.
Beautiful. So in light of everything you just said, brother, that just proves that we got to deal with this goddamn white man. We have to demean and destroy his image because we have been trained and taught to look at him as God. So we got to demean and destroy his image in your mind before we can even teach you something. You mentioned about the stores, black-owned stores. You can't even get black people to come in and support you in the goddamn store because the white man has made us so hateful of one another, making some money. You can't come to no black function unless it's some filth and foolishness without some black person saying something about it, but that's not their fault. That's due to the way they have been taught and trained by this no good goddamn white man. So I will continue to deal with race and jump on this goddamn. We all have our part that we play.
Correct. I think that the black people need to know that they need to support their own people. Me and his brother right here, man, my partner, man, Shy, you know what I'm saying, we be out here every day, man, you know what I'm saying, trying to give our people some type of deal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them will walk by us and go into another store, you know what I'm saying, to support another individual. Now, I'm not saying they don't support us, but it can be a little greater. You know what I'm saying? Because we have stuff that other people have, you know what I'm saying, that is not of them. You know what I'm saying? But they'll walk right by us. I think it's very important. The only way we're going to make it if we support one another. And I would like the brother that I just spoke about, Shy, man, to give you some insight on how he feels about this situation.
Yes, sir, brother. Come up with it.
Well, I've been out here since 1990, off and on, selling. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. So therefore, one of the few benefits that I got from being in the Marine Corps is that I have the ability to have a vending license. And a vending license is very important in New York City. Because in New York City, unless you have a vendor's license, you're not allowed to sell on the street. You can't set up, and many brothers and sisters have tried to set up, and they've gotten their things taken, their wares taken. So that's not a viable way to go about things. One thing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us is to obey the law of the land. All right, you have to work within the confines of the law of the land in order to effectively change what's going on with black people, the oppression that's going on with black people. Like Brother Seville said, through various means. One of them is drugs. You know, how did the drugs get in our community? How is it that they allow drugs in our community? They do this by design. Brother Seville touched on it, and it's all to destroy the black family. But coming back to economics, one way we can defeat or rise up, like the Honorable Elijah was saying, the cream always rises to the top, is through economics. A lot of money is circulated through the black community. But one of the problems I see is that it doesn't circulate enough in the black community. As soon as we get $1, we spend it with a Korean business, a business owned by white people, or a business that's, put it like this, a business that's owned by people other than ourselves. So what happens is that dollar is spent with other races and they don't live here. And because they don't live here, for many years I saw this community go down. Like I said, I've been here since about 1990. My family has owned a building right over there on Grafton Street since about 1960. So I've seen this community go through its changes. I've seen it burnt down. I've seen it dilapidated. I've seen crack come through. I've seen the shootings. One of the first things I've seen that really threw me for a curve is that as a 6-year-old, I witnessed a dead body on my block. As a 6-year-old, so you can imagine how that can traumatize somebody. This is something that shouldn't go on in our community, but due to all the negative things that are being thrown at us through various means, this is what we're facing. So one of the things we can do, once again, is to support black business, what few there are, let the dollars circulate inside our community. Now this is something that the Jews have been doing for years. This is not racism. This is not racism. This is smart economics, things that they don't teach us in school.
Brother, that was beautiful. I just want to bring up, you mentioned the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, powerful black man who brought us I'll say the most powerful message, one of the most powerful messages and ways to redeem our people. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out there that say that he didn't teach real Islam. I feel as though if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had tried to teach us a quote-unquote orthodox form of Islam, he wouldn't have attracted 2 followers. How many of us lives have been transformed because we know Arabic better than somebody else, because we can read verses in the Quran? That's not what he brought us.
Right.
I think that was a way to get us away from slave-oriented Christianity that had been imposed on black people.
That's right.
Okay, but the message that he brought was so powerful that it didn't make any difference whether, to me, he taught quote-unquote real Islam or not, because we know the root of all things comes from the black man and woman any goddamn way.
Right.
So for those, what do you say to those who say that he didn't, bring real, he brought, Islam, he didn't really bring Islam to the people? Because this is going to be at the debate. We have a brother, Imam Bashir, who's going to debate brother Shaka Utmost. It's going to be right here in Brooklyn, December 7th, Saturday, and that's going to be one of the arguments that brother Bashir is bringing, is that these brothers didn't bring us real Islam, and because of that we don't have a real understanding of what it's all about. But my question is, how is that going to redeem our people? How is it going to redeem our people? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a 3rd grade education. And look at what he produced.
And see, you hit the nail on the head when you said, look at what he produced. You know, we can't go by, Brother Bashir, you mentioned another name, I can't remember, but
Brother Shaka
Brother
Utmost.
Shaka. These brothers.
No, Brother Shaka Utmost, he's Kemetic brother. He's not, he's debating the brother on his thesis about Islam.
This is what I say to them.
Thank you.
What Jesus said, to quote the Bible, because we're not anti-Bible. We're for the wisdom of the Bible. There is wisdom in the Bible. And what he touched on was, he who does for himself will make no mark in this life. Meaning, you have to touch the lives of other human beings. You know, you have to do something for someone else to leave your legacy. It starts with your family. You know, our first indication that we were here is my son or my daughter or your son or your daughter or this man's son or his daughter. And we do for them. And then when we're gone, as nature takes its course, they are still here to carry on whatever teachings that we inspired them with. So you have to do for your family first and your community next. So, you know, brother Honorable Elijah Muhammad had steak and takes. He had a mosque in just about every major city up and down the 95
Supermarkets, had an import, export with fish.
Import, export. You
Airplanes.
Can't knock these brothers. You can't knock Marcus Garvey with the Back to Africa movement. You can't knock a brother that does or is about doing for his community. You can't knock that. You have to sit back and say to yourself, what am I doing for my community? That I'm so good that I can put this brother down. And there's a lot of other brothers like Imam Isa, who had a mosque in Bushwick. He did for his community. Cleaned up the drugs that was around Bushwick Avenue. Like I mentioned, Marcus Garvey, Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can't knock a brother who's doing for his community. But I can knock somebody like Barack Obama, who I feel is not helping the black community. We got a lot of promises from this president, but I have a lot of questions for this president because this president has not fulfilled a lot of his promises. Lately, it's just come to light in the 1,000-page document that was given to Congress, and they had 2 days to sign it, 2 or 3 days to sign it. This 1,000-page document that is popularly known as Obamacare, but is actually called the Affordable Care Act. This document is not for the community, and slowly but surely we finding this out. Lately, it's been revealed that you have to give up your provider that you're accustomed to, so that you can it's part of the law that's written in Obamacare. But moving on, one thing I will not do is I will not knock another brother who is all about doing for his community. And white folks do for their community, Chinese people do for their community, and Jewish people do for their community. But what I don't see is black people doing for our community. And that's what I'm all about.
You know, just on the religion, absolutely. And I think that the religion keeps us divided when Malcolm said, keep that in the closet.
Yeah.
And you have to need what you just said, a black united front.
There you go.
Don't come telling me to be a Muslim. Don't come telling me to be this, that, and the third. I think that at the root of all things is black people. The Moorish legacy is black people's.
That's right.
The Christian legacy at the root is black people's.
That's right.
So therefore, whatever, I'm not going to argue, whatever piece of the legacy you want to pick, that's fine. But what now the honorable brother Sarnetta is doing with these debates, they're not divisive. It's helping us to iron out the wrinkles now. You're not practicing the original masonry that was in Kemet, you know what I mean, because it was in there. You practicing the 32 degrees that was given to this Caucasian. You following behind his Christianity, you following behind his Islam, you following everything that we are in. It seemed to me like we're following his brand of it. That's why the religion has got to be pushed out of the way so that we can come together and do these things, brother.
That's
brother
right.
Seville, build a little bit on that.
I think it's very important, man, at the end of the day, man, that us as black people come to realize that it doesn't matter what you believe in. We have to come and sit at the table. You know what I'm saying? You know, and put all of that other stuff to the side. That was something that Marcus Garvey, you know what I'm saying, you know, advocated. I think that it's very important, man, that we realize at the end of the day that regardless of what you believe in, if you're a Christian, Jew, Muslim, you know what I'm saying, Buddhist, Hindu, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, when that cracker come cook your doing, he's not asking you what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at your black skin. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that threatens his existence.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? On this earth. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to never stop attacking us because he knows that we are his daddies, you know what I'm saying, and he came from us. So at the end of the day, man, we got to sit down, man, and start discussing these issues in our communities, you know what I'm saying, and solving the problems. That cracker's not going to come with that blue suit on, with that badge, and come in our community and solve our problems. We have to solve our problems in our communities. You know what I'm saying? We giving lectures in these big halls, which is all right. But we have to give some lectures in our communities. Those people who can't get to those venues, you know what I'm saying, have to be allowed to get this information because it is vital for their survival. You know what I'm saying? In order for them to come out of the state of mind that they're in. We understand that this cracker, you know what I'm saying, will not stop hounding us, you know what I'm saying, and putting us in this brainwashing condition. We have to be deprogrammed all over again. We have to come out of this state of mind in order to exist. This cracker is trying to annihilate the black race, man. You understand me? He's trying to annihilate the black race. And if he have to go do your woman, making her not believe in the black man and go get a cracker, go get a white man, she thinking that he's gonna solve her problems, you know what I'm saying? Or a black man that goes get a white woman thinking that she's gonna solve his problem? No. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna solve anything. All she's gonna do, you know what I'm saying, is take all those millionaires, actors, you know what I'm saying, sport figures, you know what I'm saying? The first thing they do is get a cracker. So what's gonna happen to the money if anything happened to that man? It's gonna be the total result is to go back to the white community. That's what's gonna happen with this money, and we keep dealing with these crackers, man. And I'm not saying that we don't have any black people in our midst that are dangerous. Of course, there's always been house niggas. There's always been black people that love the master. It's always been that way from the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? We had people come in our community that look like us, talking everything positive about us. But on that back end of that, you had them put up their knives. You know what I'm saying? And snitch and tell. You know what I'm saying? On somebody trying to do something positive. That's the problem. Black people are too materialistic. It's good to want good things. It's good to have good things. But at the end of the day, you can't take it in the store and buy your kids no food. You can't take it in the store and buy your kids no Pampers. You know what I'm saying? We have to somehow, black woman and black man, come together. Because until we can do this, we can't go anywhere. The black woman can't go nowhere without that black man, you know what I'm saying? And the black man can't go anywhere without that black woman. We must come together as a whole unit in order to make anything positive happen in our lives. And the last thing that I'm going to say in reference to this particular topic is that we must have love for ourselves. You can't love your mother, you can't love your father, you can't love your children until you have some consideration for yourself. You have to have self-love in order for us to go anywhere in this world. We have to love ourselves. This area here, man, you know what I'm saying, these projects over here, man, is the Howard Projects. You know where you have a lot of conflict going on with the projects going against each other, like Howard, you know what I'm saying, don't allow anybody to come inside Glenmore. So there's a lot of controversy, man, with these youth and them having problems with each other in their own community, man. You can't go on one project to the next project, or they're gonna do something to you or shoot you. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna walk down a little further and see if we speak to some of the youth, man, and to find out, man, why the things are going on in Brownsville, man. Brownsville, give a little history on Brownsville. Brownsvilles have always been gang orientated. I was in the Tomahawks, Unknown Riders, Per Hell. They had different gangs unit that always was in Brownsville, but you know what I'm saying, we wasn't killing and murdering each other like they're doing today. So the mindset of the youth have changed, and that's because the parents are not being parents. They're not teaching them about, you know what I'm saying, love. Well, matter of fact, there's no love in the house. So it's impossible for it to permeate out of the household because they see a lot of confusion and violence going on in the house. With mothers bringing different men in the house at different times, you know what I'm saying, not respecting their children, you know what I'm saying, allowing their children to see different men in the environment. They get high, they smoke weed in the house around the children, and then they tell the children, you know what I'm saying, that they shouldn't be doing this. It's no way in the world that a parent can tell a child not to do something if you're doing it yourself. You have to set an example in order to get your point across. And this is what's going on in our community, man. Most of these guns that these children have are coming out of these households. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the reality of what's going on is that these parents are not parents and they have given up on their children. Not all, but a lot of them have to check themselves and learn how to actually give their children some kind of guidance because they're parents and this is what they're supposed to do. This right here is Glenmore houses. You know what I'm saying? Glenmore's over here. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of times that the Glenmore houses have a problem with Howard projects. And this is where the conflict comes in. You know what I'm saying? Two different projects, same people, same environment, but they seem that they're always beefing with one another. They always have a problem with one another. For some apparent reason. I don't know why, but it's going on. And I'm in the community to try to solve the problem, try to get to the root of this, and try to get the youth to stop killing themselves, man, because they're not getting education in these schools, so they have to come to the street to get an education because the white man had failed them, and their parents are failing them. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, man, my community is trying to teach their parents on the dangers of what their children are going to and what's going to be the end result. The end result is going to be jail or death. And this is what's going on in Brownsville, man. A lot of murdering, a lot of killing for nothing.
Education.
Yes, sir.
You gotta go to school to do anything. You can't stand on the corner and do nothing all day. And in this country, if you don't work, when you get old, they ain't gonna give you a penny. They're not gonna give you 1 cent to take care of yourself. I'm telling you.
You barely get enough if you do work.
Right. If you work, if you work, at least you got a job. You can kind of take care of your family a little bit. You know?
Yes, sir.
Kind of, and this city is so messed up. They don't know which way to go.
So what you think about the killing that's going on?
The killing?
Yeah, the young boys run around and shooting.
We're doing that on our own. These young guys get these guns, drugs first. They don't know what to do with it. They don't need guns.
All right.
I've been here for 50 years. I ain't never had a gun.
Right.
Because I always went to work and came home. I mind my business. I never was into the drugs.
Right.
Never.
Yeah. All right. All right. Sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? Well, do you think that we ever come out of this condition? Do you think the murdering and killing will ever stop?
No.
No?
No.
All right. All right. All right.
Well,
Marcus, come in for a minute.
Good.
And what helped that?
Doing a documentary on Brownsville somewhat, brother.
What helped?
This is bad.
What helped that? What kills that? If we don't go get an education. The first thing they start doing is getting drugs. Because they need money.
All right.
Everybody needs money.
Right.
You gotta have money.
All right.
And that's the quickest way they can get some.
and sell drugs.
Well, you know the joke. You know how that
Right,
is.
right. All right.
Niggas can always get that.
All right. This is your brother that grew up with me. You know what I'm saying? Tell me your name.
Marcus.
This is Marcus. I mean, we went through a lot of stuff, man, growing up in Brownsville, man, and went through a lot of changes and stuff like that. What do you think is the main component, man, with this violence out here now? With this project, you can't go on this project, can't go on that project. You know what I'm saying? What do you think that stems from? What do you think the reason is for that?
A lot of these kids, they have no direction right now. A lot of these kids right now. Speak up a little bit. Yeah, a lot of these kids don't have no direction right now. You know, they need some type of guidance, some type of counseling, something that can occupy them and get them something to do. Right, like right now they come out and this project is this project. It's nothing to do. You know, and they do things out of nothing to do. So they think gun is the best thing to do. Then you got liquor stores on every corner. These kids are not here just doing what they doing just because they do. They do take a lot of hard to do what you do to pull a trigger. It's easy to pull it. It's right to pull it. But it's easy. It's nothing to pull it. Take a drink. All right. Take a drink. Give you a lot of courage. The weed, the E-pills, the Molly, all these other different type of stimulants that's into these kids' minds right now. It ain't the kids. It's the government.
All right.
It's how they want us to live in this circle right here. This is a circle right here. We are designed to live one way here. We are not designed to live out of that circle. We're designed to live in that circle.
All right.
Some of us make it out of that circle, and some of us don't make it out of that circle. But it's designed that way. That's law. It's law.
Well, I mean, what would you have to say about the parents, man? Because you have parents in these households where these kids are coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know, and
You can't blame it on the parent for the simple fact the fathers is in jail. They jail the fathers.
All right.
So the mother is left alone to raise all the children to her by herself, whether it's a boy, girl, whoever the case, whoever it might be. She's there alone. They jail the black man. The black man's in jail. There's no men out here right now to support their sons, to support their daughters. Most men is in jail. Why they in jail? Because they try to satisfy, try to get some money to satisfy their baby mother, to make a living, to get some to their kid. So whether they did wrong or whether they did right, they went and tried. But it was a failure.
All right.
But this is the way the system is designed.
You know.
All right.
This is how the system is designed. The system is designed this way though. This is not it's not the kid, it's not the parent. It's the way the government set it out here. This is all a plan. This ain't something that started.
All right, I want to ask you a question. What do you think the major cause of the violence that's going on in our community? What do you think is one of the major things that causes the problem that black on black crime exists in this environment?
Some of it's worth jealousy. Jealousy is what have a lot of niggas mad at you.
So what's the area he said?
Area.
Yeah, that had the most violence.
Violence it's everywhere. You can't.
What you want me to
It
stop?
ain't in no specific area.
Oh, they on camera, all right. I didn't even see that.
So it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But why you don't see it in black? White communities. You only see it in black communities. Will you think they're not filming the white community and letting you see all the violence going on in there? Why is it in the black community that we're killing one another? Like this, you know what I mean? I don't value your life, and I don't value your life, and I just blow your head off, and that'll be the end of that. Wait, where do you think that mentality, the hatred comes from? Where do you think it comes from?
I don't even know.
Oh, what's up?
Tell you.
What's up, AJ?
To me, it's just pure ignorance. Honestly. Honestly. Because it ain't no sense for it. It's not. We the most dominant race on this planet. Like, we shouldn't be fighting. We should be honest. My personal opinion, I think if all black people got together, we would take over this world. But we too ignorant and too jealous and too want to be flashy and want to spend money on this, that we don't have. So we just our own demise.
That makes a lot of sense. What you guys say about that, brother?
I don't really have too much to say. Yeah, you caught me in the morning. I'm just
Maybe next time, man. Appreciate that, man. Okay. Gonna be out soon. All right. Well, you know, we had the youth man saying what they say, you know, and giving their opinion. He's saying, you know, that, you know, black people gonna have their own demise sooner or later. Yo, my brother. Yo, come here for a minute, man. Come here. Come here, man. Yeah, you.
Need you.
Yeah, you know. I'm calling over one of my brothers that I used to be in the Tomahawks together with. We used to be gang banging and doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? You know, matter of fact, he's an active Tomahawk right now. They have, you know, organizations, but they transform. Tell them something about the Tomahawks today, because I was a Tomahawk when we were little. But what are you doing in the community to try to calm the balance down, man, and bring these youth together?
Well, we goes out to different places. We go out to school. We dissipate with a lot of marches about violence and all that. And we always have our meetings on Friday, like we have a meeting today, and everybody invites to go to any meetings that we have if they want to see what we're doing. And make a long story, you know, short, we trying to deal with the kids out there. We go out there in the front line and try to deal with these kids and guns and violence, say it's a better way and all that. We try to advise them to go to school and get an education instead of, you know, dealing with what's out here. That's why a lot of these cops are out here, they stopping and searching people. You don't have to be no reason whatsoever. And I believe it was racial profiling, because those are the only people they was dealing with in the community was the young kids to be out here.
All right, this is one of my brothers, man, that I grew up with, man, from Brownsville, man, back in the days when, you know, Tomahawk on riding, man, you know what I'm saying? We went through a lot of stuff in Brownsville.
No question.
What do you feel about, man, the violence that's continually going on with these kids that are dying younger? I mean what's your idea on that?
I think it's the younger youth.
All right.
There's no respect. At the end of the day, when you have respect, you have loyalty. You feel me? Back in the days, it was all about respect. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if there's no respect, there's no loyalty. We got younger brothers killing each other. You know what I'm saying? You can act labor, whatever you're gonna do, you just take it out. You feel me? But at the end of the day, like I said, I love you, my nigga.
All right, man. All right, cool.
I love you.
All right, cool. Well, you know, that was just a little insight, man, on a brother that I grew up with, man, out here, man, in this wilderness, man, and, you know, he spoke, you know what I'm saying, a little insight, man. He said unity. There's no respect. There's no respect, man, right now, man, and you can't, you know, have a community where you have people disrespecting one another. You know what I'm saying?
Black brothers killing black brothers, man.
There's a very key component, man, you know what I'm saying, you know, self-hatred. And I think that until we come together, man, you know what I'm saying, as one people, man, and actually realize that we in this together, that it will continue to go on, you know what I'm saying, you know, and, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, I'm going to continue to do the work that I do in this community, man, and other communities, but I'm worried about where I live at, where I come from, where I was born at, and try to change the mindset of our youth, because without them, we can't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, without the parents understanding that they have to teach their kids respect, they have to have discipline with their children, and they have to model their children, you know what I'm saying, behind us. They have to do that in order for us as black people to make it in this society. This is my brother, man, one of my brothers that I grew up with in Brownsville, a very powerful brother, you know what I'm saying, you know, and came up through the violence and confusion and all the things that we had to endure, drugs and everything else, man, that affected our lives. And we have come up out of that. This is one of the brothers, man, you know what I'm saying, who have seen me when I was at that stage and I was doing negative things, man, in the environment. And the brother also seen me come up out of that and start doing positive things. What do you think that the community of Brownsville needs to change the violence and stuff that's going on in our community with our youth?
First of all, it's the education. First of all, we got to get the mothers and the fathers together. You know, because the first education starts in the household. When you have an unfunctional household, 9 times out of 10, the child is gonna be unbalanced. You know, as far as the streets go along, like I said, with the household. When the household is unbalanced, once the child go out in the streets, he adapts to the environment because the same environment in the streets is in the household. So there's no different than the household than the streets. You know, so, and then again, the education. You know, the education plays a mighty big part. Like Malcolm X said, the best way to hide knowledge from a Negro is to put it in a book. You know, and that's what we need out here in Brownsville. Not only in Brownsville, in all other urban communities. Years ago when I was coming up, we used to go in the park, see people reading newspaper books and stuff like that. Them things done died out. We used to have community centers here. Them things done died out. Now the young generation coming up now, they don't have no place to go to. Look what you see right here on the corner. Look what you see, a bunch of walking dead. Just like I was a walking dead. Until I met a brother like himself, Seville, right here, to enlighten me, to pull my coat as a young man. I grew up underneath him. Yeah, I watched him. He came up hard through here. Mostly the OGs that I looked up to came up hard. You know, because a lot of us, our household, there was no type of, you know, it was unorganized. It was unorganized. You know, and when you have an unorganized household, 9 times out of 10, your child, he would adapt to this. He would adapt to it. You know, and then the educational department ain't feeding us nothing. They ain't feeding us nothing about us. What we want to know about George Washington and Lincoln for? What Lincoln did for us? Enslaved us? You know, we want to learn about our roots. You know, we want to go back to the land of Akibala. You know, the land of Akabula. You know, read about Asar. You know, things like that. They don't feed us that in our history. The first thing they tell us is that these people, they was worshiping the sun. They was worshiping this and that. I would rather worship the sun than worship a cross that we have no understanding of. Now I can understand the ox. No, but you know, they feed us things, you know, that is not good for the system. It's just like we need physical food, the soul needs spiritual food. You know, and this is taken out of our community. Back when I was coming up, there was a barn there. There's no more barn. I looked at one man in the face, he ready to take my life for what? Because I looked at him, oh, what the hell are you looking at? You got a beef with me? Nah, I ain't got no beef with you. You know? But I know where we can take our beef to. You know? I ain't got no beef with you. I know where we can take our beef to. You know, let's go to City Hall. Let's talk to them people in City Hall. Let's talk to them people in the White House. You know, why you want to take my life? Because I looked at you. You know? And this is where it starts from. It starts from the household. You know, when the household is unbalanced, 9 times out of 10, your child is gonna be normal for him to adapt to something like this. It's gonna be normal. He'll fit right in. He'll fit right in. You know, so what we have to do, man, we got to, you know, respect our women's, man. Respect our women's and, you know, respect our kids, you know, and don't be a daddy, be a father. You know, and we got to re-educate our family. No more George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Let's go to the root. Let's go to the root, to the land of Akabula. Let us know about the people of Kemet. You know, Let us know about these things, brother. Why is these things is being hidden away from us? Surely but surely you have brothers like this that's bringing it to us, but a lot of us, we can't digest that because we've been too long eating the filthy swine that they've been giving us. So when it comes to good food, we think good food is bad food, and we think bad food is good food. You know, and you know, it starts with the household. You know?
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Man, I so appreciate, man, brother, what you just said, man. I'm like, you know, not really in shock, man, but you said some powerful words, and basic things you said is right on point. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's coming out of the family. If the family is messed up, then the children will be messed up. If they don't get the guidance from the family, they won't get the guidance from the gangs in the street. You know what I'm saying? That's without saying. All right, I have my daughter over here that just walked up on me. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. And my daughter over here, who's a youth, you know what I'm saying, but she's, you know, 20 years old, but, you know what I'm saying, she knows about the environment. What do you think is causing the problems with all of this killing going on, man, with these young people? I mean, what is key to it, though?
What's key to it?
Yeah.
Basically, the home and family. Like, if you're not getting enough tension at home, basically what you're going to do is you're going to find it in the street. In all reality, the streets don't love you. So that's basically where you're getting it from. And that everybody's always angry. And in a negative, everybody thinks so negative because everybody's stuck in one place. If they have trips to take youth somewhere and see different things, maybe you'll brighten their horizons to different things, and they won't be stuck in the mentality that they in. That's it.
Very important, man. So you think? So what do you think about the relationship? Do you think that the young males respect the, you know what I'm saying, the women, or they look at men as bitches and hoes? I mean, what do you think about that?
No, males don't respect females because females don't respect themselves. First and foremost, if you have respect for yourself, believe you, everybody else will respect you. If you don't have no respect for yourself, you walking around with shorts that in the crack of your ass, showing half of your ass out, and then you expect somebody to respect you. Who gonna respect you looking like that? No one. That's what they gonna call you, a hoe. You wore that for them, right? You came outside like that. So obviously you're not respecting yourself. So who gonna respect you?
What do you think about the pants hanging off the ass with the young boy?
Oh, they gay. It's homo. And I know that a lot of them been pulling up their pants lately, you know, because it been cold. They ass been ashy lately. Yeah, I asked somebody that too a minute ago. I was like, your ass ain't cold, nigga, because I got eczema, you feel me? And I get ashy. And the cold make you ashier. So you got your pants hanging down. Your ass ain't freezing. I know that ass be freezing, I'm telling you. I asked.
Do you think the youth will ever, you know, turn around? Do you think they will ever change, you know what I'm saying, the way they think, the way they do things? What do you think has to happen for these people to stop killing themselves?
For the people to stop killing themselves?
Yeah.
I don't think nothing will have to happen because it's always going to be like that in the world. No matter where you go, people is killing people. So that's how the world is, basically. So it don't matter where you going, how far you go. At the end of the day, people is killing people. No matter how far success you get, you still got people killing people.
All right. I totally agree with you.
You get some of the children, like you start with the children, not the youth. Cause the youth, that's why so many people having kids, because they forgot how to treat a person. When you have a baby, you learn how to treat, especially if a male have a daughter, he learns how to respect a female from a female point of view, because that's his daughter. He don't want nobody talking to his daughter like that.
I agree with you, man, because I will sure enough do something to somebody messing with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, you know what I'm saying, for giving us a little insight.
Yes, I'm happy to enlighten y'all on my little research that I got.
Thank you, sister. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Yaya. How y'all doing?
Come here, my brother. What do you think about the violence, man, and the things that's going on in our community in Brownsville? Brownsville have the most projects, or the most black people combined in projects in the United States. This is the most compressed environment in the country of black people in one environment. What do you think about what's going on in our community? What do you think it'll be any change? Do you think it's the youth fault? Do you think it's the parents' fault? Who fault do you think is the government fault? I mean, who fault do you think it is on what's going on with our families and our children killing themselves in Brownsville? Somebody just got murdered, man, a little while ago. You know what I'm saying? And somebody probably get murdered another, 15 or 20 minutes from now. What do you think will stop this violence?
Stop this violence? Well, first of all right, it has to do with the parents. All right, the love is always transferred down from the parents to the kids. Okay, if you teach your kids from day one, okay, to love one another. All right, there's nothing to do with fighting. Love one another. All right, the violence would shut down. There's still gonna be arguments because everybody has their different points of view. Okay, then out in the street, okay, there's no love out here. Nobody love nobody out here. It's all about self. All right, start thinking about one another. Once again, that's where love comes in. All right, I wouldn't do nothing to you that I wouldn't want done to myself. Okay, therefore, we have to start challenging these kids. Mentally challenge them.
All right.
On what they would like or what they would want. Okay, they wouldn't want nobody doing anything to them. All right, so why is they doing something to somebody else?
Is this a learned behavior? Do you think they learn this from their parents, or do they learn this from the streets? I mean, because see, when a person is conducting themselves a certain way, they have to either see it, somebody told them to do that, you know what I'm saying, or they just, have no guidance at all. I mean, something is going on. I mean, because these kids are coming out of a household, and do you think it's all right for a parent to sit there and smoke weed or bring different men in the house and let their, little daughter see that or little son see all this activity going on back and forth?
That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay, relationships is gonna happen with now forevermore.
All right.
Okay, but if there's more than one relationship coming into that house, right? Okay, that has a tendency to anger the child. Why? Because they don't want their moms or their father to be known as a hoe.
All right.
Okay, it's all about labels. Kids are mean. Kids say, "Oh, I saw your mother in the crack spot. Oh, I saw your mother in the corner. I saw your mother doing this. I saw your mom's doing that. I saw your father doing this. I saw your father doing that." All right. Okay. Basically, all right, that is unacceptable. Okay, if you want to have a mate, have a mate. All right, but make sure it's the same mate. All right, have different men running in and out of the house. All right, as far as the community, ain't no money here.
Ain't no money in there.
There's no money. There's no money here. All right. That has a tendency to deprive the kids from what they need. All right, look at the programs. Okay, when we were growing up, we had PSAL, right?
Right.
Okay, we had after school center.
Right.
Okay, there's no more after school centers. There's no place for these kids to go. So what they do? They hang out in the street and learn bad habits.
So would you say that the government, the people on top, pushing this type of situation down to the communities? Because we know that the last day for any of these centers to be open is the 25th of December. All centers in Brownsville will be shut down. So there will be nowhere for these youth to go but the streets. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that Brownsville has not always been a black community. White people have lived here first. I've been here 59 years. And
how long?
59. I've been in Brownsville 59 years, you know what I'm saying? He's been here 36 years, you know what I'm saying? And there were white people living here, you know what I'm saying? And I think that they want it back. I think that they want to, push everybody back down south, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and they want to come in. They're doing it to Harlem as we speak. They're doing it to certain parts of Bedford-Stuyvesant as I speak. They're doing it to Bushwick. They're trying to come back in.
Every major city in America, they're doing it.
They're trying to come back in the city and push the blacks back down there on the plantations. You know what I'm saying? Where they come from. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is the plan that they're doing. And the only thing that I can do, brother, is just try to teach in the ghetto, you know what I'm saying, where a lot of people who have information is not at. You don't see too many, and I'm not knocking the brothers, you know what I'm saying, I'm not knocking any of you brothers, but I don't see, you know what I'm saying, too many brothers from the Nation of Islam walking these streets teaching anybody. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they don't teach, but they're not teaching in the communities. I don't see it. And I'm not knocking you. But I'm just saying you're not teaching in the communities. I think Farrakhan gave an order that the Muslim brothers will come out in the community and start teaching. They're not here teaching. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party, you know what I'm saying, tried to set up something over here on Rockaway Avenue. They came and they left. You don't see them no more. You know what I'm saying? The only people that I see that with, that might reach out to give a person something to eat, feed them, or whatever, is the church. But that's a whole different program. But they are doing something in our community. You know what I'm saying? You know, as far as feeding people that are homeless. That's something that people need to survive as food. You know what I'm saying? But I think one of the main things in this environment that we have to do, a lot of us older brothers have to step up and know that we're responsible for the youth. See, what has happened is that the youth had made some young, older people scared of the youth. They're scared to say something to them. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that something's going to happen to them and they're going to retaliate. You feel what I'm saying to you? You have to be a man. You have to stand up and be responsible. You know what I'm saying? And tell them, youth, listen, you're doing something wrong. You have to talk to them. Give them some kind of information to stop them from doing the things they do now. We know that the brother said earlier is a problem because there's no money out here. There's no jobs. They're not trying to employ our youth. So what are they going to do? They're going to do the next best thing, man. Sell drugs, stick up, do burglaries. I mean, what do they have to do to survive, man? And this is by design because that man on top wants them youth in jail, not in school. He wants them in jail so he can make some money off of them. Peace and Black Power. This is Van Dyke Avenue, man. We're on Van Dyke in Mother Gaskin, man. This is the Van Dyke Projects, one of the biggest projects in Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? Right here, this is where we at. And a lot of activity, a lot of shootings going in this environment here. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's a rough area, man. You know, so it's very important, man, that us as older brothers, man, try to come together, man, and balance this thing out, man. Because this is going over not just Brownsville, it's going all over the United States. The youth are killing each other in Chicago. What's up, man? Come here for a minute, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is one of my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? From the community, man, that is represented. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, let me ask the brother a question, being that he's here. What do you think, man, will change the mindset of what's going on out here in Brownsville? What do you think the older brothers and sisters have to do to try to deter the youth from killing each other the way they are? There's always been violence in Brownsville.
Always been.
I'm not going to say that, but I'm saying that it's really getting out of hand now, man. They're killing 14-year-old, 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old babies are getting killed. What do you think us as a people in this environment have to do to change that?
Well, I think what has to happen with the older generation, they have to go back to the original roots of how they were raised. They have to show them proper respect in the home. What is happening in the homes today is the children are not being respectful to their own parents and those elders that's over them in the home now. So it spills out over the home. But what the government has done, they have clamped down on us even more. They're allowing the children to do certain things as adults, and then they're allowing the adults to correct them as adults. Therefore, leaving a wide open venue for children to run amok. Now, because of the killing and the violence, the government has no handle on it. More police presence doesn't mean a more peaceful community. More police presence doesn't mean that the community is going to just fall in line. Right. All that does is enrages the people in the community more. Now, when you have a bunch of young teenagers growing up today with a lot of rage and violence in them, the presence of the police is not going to cure that or help that. It's just going to incite it even more. Because now what's happening is the children's been told they're protected by law. Anytime a child can divorce their own parent or bring their parent up on charges for them wanting to respect them as a parent and their home, then now you have what we call young people running around doing what they wish. Now, and I'm going to say this, and that's my last sentence. The problem is that the community itself is not banding together anymore. The politicians now are just running for themselves just to get in office. They're not looking at our views as adults now to help solve the community issues. They just want to be in office and line their pockets. So men like you and I, we still care, but we are helpless now because we're in a demographic where we're the minority and not the majority.
All right, thank you so much.
I appreciate it, man. Okay.
Come here, brother. This is another brother, man, that I grew up with, man, out here in Brownsville. I went to junior high school with him. You know, we've been through a whole lot of stuff, man, in this environment, man. What do you think, man, is the problem, you know what I'm saying, in our community, man, right now? And what do you think will solve the problem of this violence in prison? There's always been violence in Brownsville, but what do you think we have to do as older men, you know what I'm saying, to try to address the problem that's going on in this environment?
As older men, we ought to be more like role models. They have nothing to look up to when you got the guys hanging on the corner selling drugs and gang banging. That's not nothing for the kids to look up to. They need role models. They need father figures. Some households don't have fathers, so it's up to us as older brothers to adopt our younger brothers as sons. And we're not doing that. And as far as the politician goes, like my man said, they just lining their pockets. And it's about time for a change. We want our children to grow up, to be somebody. And in order for them to be somebody, they have to learn how to respect their elders. They don't respect their parents. They want to call ACS on their parents, and that's not cool. You hit me, I'm going to call ACS. And the court goes along with the child and arrest the parents. So today, what we need to do is we need to band together as older brothers and pull our younger brothers in and sit them down and show them the way to go. Because the way they go in there is not the way to go. Gang banging, violence, slinging drugs, prostituting, robbing, stealing, that's not the way to go. There's only one way to go, and that's the way that we show them that we win. See, we did our thing when we was coming up, but nothing like this. It don't got to a point where things are off the hook, off the meter, off the chain. Our kids are just running buck wild. They don't listen anymore. They have no respect for authority figures. They have no respect for their parents. Most of all, they have no respect for themselves because they don't know what respect is. And it starts in the home. If you don't train them up in the home, then when they come out on the streets, they're going to go wild. And that's all I have to say for today.
Thank you, brother. Peace.
Thank you so much, my brother. This is a public school right here, man, that I went to right here. This is PS 284. I went to this public school when I was young. At that time, man, we was going here, man, they had the gangs out here at that time, but it was the Tomahawks, the Unknown Riders, the parental, and other things like that. It wasn't so much hatred that it is today. Now, we gotta understand, man, at that time we had families structured. We had families, man, that believed and loved one another. You know what I'm saying? We had men in them households at that time, because my father was in my household. Even though he was abusive, but he was there. And it was something that I could look up to as far as what a man was. Now, you know what I'm saying, you have nothing but women in these environments, man. Or you have stepdaddies that are not properly giving them children guidance and being responsible for children that are not theirs. But I don't believe in that. I believe that if you go into an environment with a woman and she has children, that's your responsibility as a man to give them the same love that you would give your biological children. I don't believe in that. I believe a child is a child, and if you're in an environment with that child, you need to be responsible and do the things that you need to do for them children. Peace and black power.
What's going on? Representing Brownsville, originally from Bed-Stuy. Lived out here a long time, seen a lot of negative things, hoping that things change one day. I'm young, did a lot of time in jail, but trying to change my life. And a lot of young brothers need to stop all this gang banging. If you are gang banging, do it the right way. Us going against each other doesn't make sense. And pretty much as far as the fathers, look up to your children, do what you're supposed to do. I got a son on the way, first one, and I'm gonna do all I could for him.
Do you think that the rappers, you know, and you know, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, you know, saying all these rappers, when they start calling the black woman a bitch and hoes and the lyrics that are in their lyrics. Do you think that's a negative thing for the youth to actually watch or hear? Do you think that affects them in the way they behave and how they treat a woman, how they treat themselves, and how they treat another individual? Do you think that has a great influence on them, or do you think that there's something that is in them?
I think it's something that's in them. I think it's negative. I mean, it's lyrics, you know, it's entertainment, but I believe it should be more positive, like Rakim and, you know, a lot of the rappers from back in the day. Can't really knock them because they're making money, but all the glitz and glamour is not what it's supposed to be. It's negative. A lot of negativity. It's not good for the young children to listen to or try to follow. If you are going to be a rapper, a singer, a dancer, you know, do it positive. Don't go out there portraying all the negativity, guns, drugs, violence, and especially disrespecting females, calling them all types of B's, and, you know, it's not right.
Thank you, my brother, man, so much, man, for giving me that interview. My name is Seville, bro.
Peace.
This is where I grew up at, right here on the second floor, 333 Blake Avenue. This is, you know what I'm saying, where I came as a youth, playing skelly, handball, you know, doing all the games that, you know, spin a bottle, ring a Levio. This is the environment, man, that I came up in, you know what I'm saying? Right here in the core, this is the core of Brownsville Projects. This is where I was born and raised at. Famous brother come up out of here, man, named World Be Free. He used to live on the fourth floor. He grew up with me. You know what I'm saying? He was on the 76s back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Right here on the the first floor was a brother named Otis Wilson. He played for the Chicago Bears. They won the Super Bowl. He wore number 55. So I came up with people, you know what I'm saying, who, you know what I'm saying, actually became millionaires or did something in their life. So I'm not going to say that Brownsville didn't produce people, because they did. Mike Tyson came from Brownsville. Riddick Bowe came from Brownsville. You got Mustafa Muhammad that lives in this building across the street on the other in the middle of the projects. He came from here. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people who have came from Brownsville in this environment that done a lot of stuff positive and really did some stuff in their community, man. So, you know, I can't say that everybody that came from here didn't do positive things, because they have, you know what I'm saying, but these are some of the people that have came out of Brownsville and actually did some positive stuff in their life, man. This is where I was born at. This is where I used to play handball off the walls, you know what I'm saying, you know, a lot of activities went on here. They remodeled this whole thing here. It used to be like a real flat area, go straight to the door, but they fixing it up. I don't know who they fixing it up for. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to use your imagination. I mean, I think that it's for white people to come back into the hood. You know what I'm saying? It puts people out, you know what I'm saying, to the suburbs or down south. All right, peace and black power to the people, man. This is another brother, man, who grew up with me in Brownsville, man, from all the way from the playground, you know what I'm saying, on up. You know what I'm saying? He witnessed a lot of stuff that went on out here when we were coming up, you know what I'm saying? And I would like him just to give, you know, a little insight on how he feels the community has changed, stayed the same, or what do we have to do to actually do something to make it more positive?
Well, in my opinion, the community changed for the worse. Because now your gangs are really out of control. You know, they don't have no moral of respect for anyone. You know, when we was coming up, we had gangs. We did what we had to do, but we protect the neighborhood. But now, today gangs are out of control. The kids not safe in the streets. The older people. You know, something had to be done about this. And we really need a change for Brownsville. That's what I have to say.
All right, thank you, my brother. All right, we in the middle of Brownsville projects right now. This building right here is where Eddie Mustafa grew up at. You know what I'm saying? This is where, you know what I'm saying, he comes out of. You know what I'm saying? Was a middleweight champ. This building over here is where the leader of the Tomahawks, you know what I'm saying, Ronald Fields, you know what I'm saying, used to live, you know what I'm saying, and this is where he used to live at. The one that started the Tomahawk game off, he was the leader. You know what I'm saying? There was another brother named Akbar. You know what I'm saying? But this is the environment, man, where all these people came from. Back in the days, man, it was a beautiful existence. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, had love for one another, even though occasionally we would fight, but we wouldn't shoot each other like that. We would have a fist fight. In this day and time, the young boys don't want to fight like a man. You know what I'm saying? They want to shoot each other and kill each other. You know what I'm saying? So it has transformed into something negative, you know what I'm saying, and it has to change, you know what I'm saying. So I just wanted to share with y'all in my environment, man, in the middle of Brownsville, what's actually been going on, and how some people from this environment have done good things and positive things and made it in life, you know what I'm saying. So it would depend a lot on how your family structure is structured, the love that your mother gave to you, that your father gave to you, that you can make it in this world, regardless of what white supremacy is trying to do to us, shut us down. You can make it in this environment, man. But again, the older brothers and sisters have to come to these youth aid.
And don't want one last note, Brother Seville, don't you think at the same time, though, the young brothers and sisters, you got to show them a way to make some money. Because they're not going to want to hear, in this generation is like you say, it's different. They don't want to hear too much teaching and their belly is hungry. You got to show them a way to make some money.
I think that's very important. I think that's a legit, you know what I'm saying, question. I think that economics is very, 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 very important. I think that my plan was, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to come up with some more money, but my plan was to try to get a youth trades. Carpentry, electrician, plumber, anything that they can utilize, you know what I'm saying, and make some money from, you know what I'm saying, because all of them are not going to finish school. All of them are not going to make it out of the school system. The majority of them will drop off. Now they got a test going on that it's so hard to pass. Even the white people are upset about this test, you know what I'm saying, that they're trying to implement in the school system. And this is going on around the country. So I think that a trade or something like that where they can take from here to goddamn Alaska, if they know how to lay bricks, and then they know how to do plumbing, carpentry, you know what I'm saying, painting, you know, anything that they can use hand-on touch jobs, I think would be beneficial. So I think, yes, they have to find a way, you know what I'm saying, on how to feed their families. If they're having little children, you know what I'm saying, and they have to take care of that little baby, he has to have a job and get money. You know what I'm saying? And most of the jobs have been sucked out of the community. There's no jobs here, there's no centers here, there's no activity for these youth to actually go to. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. So I think, yeah, we have to address that problem. We try to give our youth something to do, you know what I'm saying, far as to get some money, you know what I'm saying, so they can feed their family. So I think it's very necessary that at some point, you know what I'm saying, you know, some of these millionaires got to come back in the community and open up programs where they can start teaching these children some type of trades where they can be productive in their environment. Come here, my brother. Come here for a minute, brother. Come on, come on. This is one of my OGs that I grew up with in Brownsville, who witnessed the Tomahawks and all the gang banging and all the stuff that was going on back in the days. What do you feel, man, about, you know, what's going on in our community now with the youth? Can't go on one project to the next project, you know what I'm saying? You know, this one don't like this one.
Well, when we was coming up, it was like that. But I mean, you know, now it should be different.
All right.
You know, we shouldn't be going back to our roots. Ain't no way we should be doing that. You know, and for my opinion, we need to get these guns off the street. But first of all, you know, and after that, then everything should quiet down. But you're still gonna have these little gangs out here. You know, not like the Tomahawks and Unknown Riders, but you know, like they got the Bloods and the Crips out here.
Right.
You know, and they don't know what's really going on yet, because they ain't walked in our shoes yet.
All right. All right.
So I'm gonna leave y'all with that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right.
These are the Tilden projects right here.
What's the name of them?
Tilden projects. You know what I'm saying? These are the Tilden projects right here. This is one of the main projects, you know what I'm saying, that I used to hang out when I was young. But see, at that time, you can pass over and go to project to project. It wasn't such thing as you couldn't go to this project, go to that project, go to this project. You can just pass through any project, man. I knew people in Howard, I know people in Van Dyke, I knew people in Tilden, you know what I'm saying, you know, in Brownsville, you know what I'm saying, you know, then you have some more projects over there. You know what I'm saying? This is a very big area, you know what I'm saying, but these are the Tilden projects right here, man, you know what I'm saying? This is where I did a lot of my running around in, man, and back in the days, used to be a big field over here, we used to play football, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, man. So, matter of fact, over there on Livonia Avenue, man, is where they filmed that movie, Brooklyn's Finest. Right over there under that L there, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the projects that they had was over here in Van Dyke. You know what I'm saying? You can't really see it from here, but Van Dyke project over there, this is where they filmed, you know what I'm saying, that at right here. Wesley Snipes went over there. Matter of fact, he got shot in the store, you know what I'm saying, on the other side of these projects here. And that's where they filmed that at, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have a long history here in Brownsville, man, and I'm here to make a change, man. I'm here to try to give some type of insight on how we can come out of this darkness into the light, man. And anybody that comes from this environment, like Brother Polite, he comes from Brownsville, man. He's doing some great things, great works. You know what I'm saying? Trying to teach people how to buy housing and houses, real estate and stuff like that, man. But any brother or sister that comes from any kind of environment like this should always come back to try to give back, man, to the community that they came from. You know what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of these brothers and sisters don't. I'm not saying that he has never came back, but I'm saying that, you know, you need to come out here, you know what I'm saying, and give a venue, man. Give some kind of insight back to these people, you know what I'm saying, who don't even know their arm from their elbow. You know what I'm saying? And try to raise them out of this condition, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can sit down with you, brother, or anybody that comes from here, man, sit down with them, man, and try to build something here, man. Try to give some classes on history. You know what I'm saying? It's very important, man, that the parents not only give them children, man, the European education, but give them some education on their history. Because we were great people, you know what I'm saying, coming from out of Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? We accomplished a lot of things, man. We have big university, Timbuktu. You know what I'm saying? You know, and various others. You know what I'm saying? Schools that we had of thought, man, that we learned from. You know what I'm saying? Remember, everything that cracker learned, he learned from us. The Moors came into Europe, man, teaching them the language, teaching them how to write,
how to wash their funky asses,
put spices on their foods. So there's a lot of things, man, that black people have done. You know what I'm saying? To actually raise them crackers up to where they are now today. And we have to realize, man, that we're kings and queens. You know what I'm saying? And we can come out of this struggle anytime we feel like it, man. Once we get together, unify, and become one. That's very important, man, for us to realize that. This is, that's Marcus Garvey. That's Marcus Garvey over there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of stuff goes on in this environment over here. One of the most treacherous of the projects. You know what I'm saying? You know, not that they all ain't, but a lot of violence goes on in that environment, man. Then you have some, that goes all the way down on that side, nothing but projects, man, on that side. You know what I'm saying? You know, so this is all Brownsville. We're on the core of Rockaway Avenue right here. This is like the middle of Brownsville right here, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of activity, man. You know what I'm saying? I see myself running down here, man, back in the days, man, doing my thing, man. And a lot of memories about Brownsville that was possible. But now, you know what I'm saying, things have changed, man. A lot of these young brothers don't have that same train of thought. A lot of things are going on out here, man, that has to change, man. And I'm here to try to assist people, to try to change their lives, man, and try to get on the right page and start having love for themselves so they can have love for each other.
Okay, well, I grew up out here. I was 14 years old when I came out here. I'm 52 years old now, and when I grew up, when I moved out here, it wasn't as bad as it is now. Well, it's really bad right now. The way this community is.
All right.
When I was living here, when I was younger, it wasn't as bad as it is now. It's really bad. The community is bad. The people are bad. You can't blame it on the projects. You got to blame it on the people.
All right.
And that's what
All right. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you.
I didn't really know what to say.
All right. But that's good enough.
All right.
This is my brother Mike here, man. I grew up with him. Me and him went through a lot of struggles. Played football together when I was young. Did a lot of activity, man. What do you think, man, has to happen, man, in Brownsville now, man, for the environment to change? I mean, for the youth to understand, man, that they're killing each other, man. You know what I'm saying? And that cracker is sitting back up in the air smiling at all of this, you know what I'm saying, death and destruction, man. What do you think has to happen?
What's got to happen is we got to have more people get involved with our youths. Right now, every youth is going by themselves. They're independent. They don't give a damn about their parents and nothing like that. We need more manpower out here and mother power to teach these kids what the value of living is about. They want to kill each other over a nickel or a dime. It's not even about the value of anything. It's about living. People out here are so confused and they don't have jobs, they don't have anything. So right now the only thing they do is taking somebody else's life because that's a value. They get 15, 25 years in jail. They don't even know the value till they get to court. When they get to court, they say, oh, I did that, they did that. Just to try to place for somebody else, you know? But the people out here, they gotta just come together. They start uniting. If they don't unite, they're gonna be, destruction, you know? So most of the people out here I've done raised up with is dead. The majority of people like me and him is still trying to put a struggle together, but right now, we just gotta come together.
This is what they built, you know what I'm saying, after they broke the lots down, they put these little houses here. At one time they were $40,000, now they're about 70, 80, 90, 100,000 just for the house. They pretty good brick houses, but again, you're right across the street from the project, so, excuse me, you gotta have some heart to live out there in the hood, man, because things are not what they seem.